Shit's done, baby. Boom! Boom! Rise and shine. It's time to get to work, y'all. It's time to get to work. This whole thing's almost done. As predicted, let me spin the camera around. These boys are out in the rain, making the playground, making the balconies. These guys are working their asses off, and in about a week, I believe, look how smooth this looks, is all gonna be done. We're getting looking loads and loads of shit getting put in here. It's fucking going down this morning. And so is this morning's motivation. But I'm doing it from the warmth of the house because my buddy took off. He needed to get his mind right. He needed to go for a walk. Sometimes we need to do that in life. And then I have to have this conversation with you guys about switching places or trading places, as the movie was in the 80s. I don't know if you were around then, or maybe you know, or Eddie Murphy fan, Dan Aykroyd made a movie. It was called Trading Places. And it was one of these things where they took an experiment of one guy that was homeless on his knees. I have no legs. And he did the I have no legs dance sign, Saints Addiction out here. And when he was doing this movie, right? The whole premise of the movie is that this one guy was really rich, and that these really rich guys, Vladimir Mortimer or something, could take anybody off the street and just make them into a rich man and change their whole lives, and then maybe switch back, and it turns into a lemony schnickets of events. Schnickets, I like saying that word, lemony schnickets of events. And yeah, I haven't rolled it yet, so. Ooh, I got some danky, triple dank, super dank, danky dank my friend gave me. But here's what they also give me. A hard fucking time. Like getting up this morning, early ass in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, I was locked out of my door because I got one buddy that won't give me the keys, won't talk to me. He's on a walk by himself. It's not like he invited me, you know what I mean? And he's got his journal and he talks to me from the other room. And then my other friend, who's really anal about being on time, my phone's off, and instead of saying, hey, come downstairs, he said, I'm leaving. I said, where are you leaving from? He's like, oh, it's not that hard, bro. I'm like, are you leaving from your house? Are you leaving me again? And then it's been tough on your boy Saint to have to go from couch to couch. And then my friend goes, I wish I was couch surfing. Shout out to Futurola and the Tyson Papers. I got this. I think I'm down to my last one here. And she was saying something to the effect of, I wish I was couch surfing in Europe, and I'm like, I wish I had a son. I think we play only 5 left. The emergency sign is out and about, bro. Saints Addiction is real. I've been rolling so many joints. I'm down to 5 left. It's letting me know, bro. You're about to run out of papers, man. You're about to be paperless or homeless or something, you know. I mean, that's the thing. I can't switch places with anybody. I'm not going to wake up as Shaquille O'Neal. I woke up 15 years ago and I said, what do I want my life to be like? You know, I'm looking down at my dick and my belly was too big. I wasn't happy, you know, even with a psychologist and medication or any of the other shit that we put in our bodies to make us feel right. Even though I had a career, even though I had, what's the other thing called, healthcare, I had all these things. They were giving me glasses so I could drive at night, and I don't even use these glasses anymore. You know, I was getting a basically a leg up. And that's what the thing, in context, right? And before judgment, when you have context, you get to look at something more observant, right? Yeah, that's one of my stickers. I'm rolling on my fuck sticker. Apparently it says pussy, but I'll take pussy fuck. All right, anyway, when I'm out there and I'm trying to grow an idea or a business or my life, you know, I think the hard part is controlling the addiction, controlling the other half of this logo, and saying, you know, hey man, if I wanted it bad enough, I would get up earlier, or if I wanted it bad enough, I would fast. Or if I wanted it bad enough, I would lose that weight. If I wanted it bad enough, I would just leave the job. And that's what I end up doing. It's the best decision I ever made in my life because now I'm here. But I'm traveling without any money. I'm traveling with my phone off. It's complicated. My buddy left me this morning and because he's so impatient and he's so weird about timing, a little bit of a German in him, and he doesn't mind if I run down the street trying to catch up with him. He doesn't mind leaving my ass fresh in the morning. It just like it bugged me this morning. I just said, you know what? I'd be hard pressed to treat my friends the way they've been treating me. Besides for the basics, like just here's a couch. I won't even give you a pillow. It's the my food is my own. I'm like, when I'm eating, it'd be really hard for me to eat in front of somebody without sharing. Just me. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's somebody else. But I can't watch another human being Thanksgiving not being able to fucking cut them in on some food and feed them as well. Maybe it's my southern upbringing. Maybe it's just the way that I am. But it's just the way that I am. My right ear's ringing. They must be talking about me. There ain't no walking around me. A lot of girls going down Dade County, singing on 222s. I don't know. Is this one joint or two? Little small bits of weed here. Your boy Saint's been smoking thanks to the kindness of my friends. So on one end, the kindness of my friends is taking me out to lunch yesterday when I was starving, picking me up when they can, taking me out to burgers. I've gone a couple different lunches with this friend, and it's nice. And he said, I don't give you this for something in return, to want something in return. He said, I'm giving it to you in the hopes that you will give back to me in the same way that I gave to you. It's not a price tag, right? It's not a price tag. It's a value. And I told him that, in Burning Man culture, we have it called social currency, that you get by your character. It's not how much currency you have in your pocket, but the character that you have in your heart. And as I've been beating myself for not having a better character and not having a baby and how I've lost relationships, when I came back from dinner with my friends, we've all lost relationships. We've all lost children. She admitted it to me too. This is my ex, and she said, my first baby, I just stared out the window for like 3 months, man. Like there was just nothing anyone could do to reach me. And I said, same, dude. I feel exactly the same. And I said, I have to thank you, Pivy. I have to thank you for being this one relationship. Well, sure, I went to South Korea in prison and it all faded away and got weird. But we did things together. We went to Germany together and got to go to what's it called? Oktoberfest, and that you're a relationship that didn't have to go so badly. It didn't end in physical violence. It didn't end in a domestic violence case. It didn't end in an argument. It didn't go bad. It's just we faded apart and people go in their own separate directions. But I can point at an ex-girlfriend and finally say, here's one girlfriend, and not other ones, because I don't have that many girlfriends that I dated just solely by themselves. I mean, it's one thing if you're doing a one-night stand, it's another if you're actually dating. But it's another thing when you're just sitting there going like, this relationship didn't have to end with someone saying that I put something in their drinks, or didn't have to end because they want to go back to their husbands, or didn't end with me having to move out, which has happened before, like a Dear John letter, like we're sleeping in separate bedrooms at this point, me and my ex, the different ex, it was already kind of over, but it didn't have to end with someone being bitter or can't have each other as friends or blocking each other, whatever other toxic behavior that I've experienced. And it's just like, a lot of us, we want the prize, but we don't want the price. And that's the thing. It's like when you're trading places or you're coming from a place of envy and you see something that someone else has and you're like, ooh, that's what I want. I really want you to concentrate and ask yourself, what's the price to pay for it? Because I was reading in this book, in Columbine, they were talking about the shooting. They're talking about people being shy and how they restricted themselves. A lot of the other chapters in this book, open mindsets that his cough won't go away. That where people wanted to judge these kids in Columbine and go, they must be coming from a bad home. They must be bad kids. La da 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 da. Turns out they weren't really from a bad home. They had loving parents, but their parents had no idea that every day they were getting shoved in a locker. I mean, every day since the third grade, these kids had to fucking battle these bullies, and these kids weren't bad kids either. It's just that they were feeling superior. And it happens to people. Some people feel superior to people. Like right now, some of my friends would be like, I envious of you. That makes them feel inferior. And then the other times they feel superior because they have money and I'm on their couch and I'm powerless. So I've had it rubbed in my face. Like I said, I've had friends treat me so bad that I can never treat them like that. Like I can never have a friend over and go, yeah, I can't give you the key. You're going to have to stay locked in till I get back from work. Like who the fuck does that? That's happening to me in my life right now, or that, yeah, hey, I'm gonna come pick you up, but if you're not ready, I will leave and not think twice about it. And you're just like, what if I had a flat tire, bro? Like what if I needed you? What would happen? How would I explain that to your parents? Like, oh yeah, I was supposed to pick him up, right, but he was late, he was in the wrong direction, so I just said fuck him. Now I've been at a place before where my friend, I distinctly remember, he was flying in from to Las Vegas, didn't give me a heads up, all of a sudden showed up. The fucking place was packed. He was not where I told him to be. It was midnight, and I was like, bro, I got to get some sleep, bro. I can't do this with you right now. Have fun in Vegas. Next time, give me a heads up, and next time, be where I tell you to be, because chasing you down and being in this traffic really was like, dude, I'm not here to be your personal taxi. It's not time for that. I know everybody wants me to be their Vegas host. Oh, I know somebody in Vegas. It's one of those things where they only know you when they're in town. They don't know you to give you enough of a heads up before they come, or how about massaging Uber drivers' backs while we're in the car? That was interesting. I haven't talked to that dude in a second either. And that's what it's come down to. I had to contact one of my buddy's ex-wives, and I said, what the fuck happened between you guys? Because I just went to Germany, and he was such an asshole, dude. Like, why did you guys get divorced? I thought you guys were the perfect couple. Oh, I'm not in his life. And she didn't shit talk on him or nothing, and then she kind of faded off, and I was like, was it his drinking? Because some of these things I'd be watching one of the chicks, and she'll be like, if your husband's drinking too much, it might be the way that you're treating him at home. But this is something I think he was treating himself bad, Mike Tyson raps, and I wanted to make sure that this thing had gotten straight. And I was just like, what's up with our boy, dude? Like, what happened to him? Why is it that 10, 15 years later, the kid that was my friend was now sitting on my face telling me he didn't want to be friends anymore, didn't like me anymore, now had a fat girlfriend instead of a beautiful wife? And I'm just like, what the fuck's going on? I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I got one friend that's going for a walk right now and didn't even explain to me what's going on. And that's what happens in this life, dude. No one knows what's going on. No one has the answers. I can watch YouTubes till I'm blue in the face. So can you. And yet you are only you. There is no trading places. There isn't a situation where you go like, I think we do it subconsciously. We're like, man, I'd love to be The Rock, maybe for one day, but then you'd have to endure something that he went through. You'd have to endure that time when he only had $7 in his pocket and he was spraying Raid on a dirty ass mattress so he can go to sleep at night. Most people don't want to go through the pain or the price for the prize. And this is something that I try to explain to people. It's like, sure, yeah, I'm in Europe couch surfing, but Europe's really expensive, and I've been out of money for like at least a month now. And to be able to see the change in me, to be able to make it day by day when I'm hungry and I literally have no money to even feed myself, would you switch me positions then? And then they asked this one white guy, they were like, would you, if you could, would you ever be black again? He's like, yeah, man, what's wrong with being black? Nothing's wrong with being black. But it's also one of those things that it's an impractical question because there is no switching. There is no trading places. You got your kid and I got travel. And at the same time, both of us are jealous of each other, going like, yeah, my friend Stacy hit me up and goes, always pleasure talking to you, da 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 da. And how she has to go through child custody and how they got over Suboxone and how she has to raise her kid alone, and would you give visitation to the father if he was in prison, and all these other fucking weirdo shit situations I'm not envious of. But at the same time, it's easy to say, oh, you're in Europe. You act like I fucking just bought a $5,000 fucking hotel overlooking the fucking Eiffel Tower. and that everything's just fucking rainbows and butterflies, and it's not, dude. We don't have that kind of life. I'm telling you right now, like one person goes up, one comes down. Most of us want to be the winners at the table, but there are plenty of other people that are putting their chips down at the roulette table or playing blackjack next to you or crap out. Maybe the person that you bet on threw the dice wrong and now you crapped out. It's easy for us to be like so jealous and wanting to switch places, but it's not easy for us to want to deal with ourselves or our situations. And that's when I put the phone down yesterday, and I highly encourage you. Thank you, David Goggins, for being so potent. But he was just like, put the fucking phone down, man. Close the laptop, bro. Use this thing in your head. Your most powerful possession in the universe is your mind. And how do you talk to this mind? How do you treat the mind? Do you eat almonds? Do you eat walnuts? Do you fucking stay hydrated? Do you breathe? Do you do exaggerating breathing? When you're having conversations with yourself, do you bounce it around your head like a tennis ball? Or do you start getting anxious and start numbing it with coffee or numbing it with weed or adjusting it accordingly? You know, like that's what we do as humans. We got to find it emotionally with us for us to actually be physically with it. And that was just like, wow, this is a fucking whole change of events, you know, lemony snickets of event to sit there in your mind and just play mental mind games with yourself instead of being the self that's able to get yourself right. Like if you're not constantly looking down at your phone, again, thanks David Goggins when he was saying that, and then you're like, I felt it the other day because I try to keep my phone not even on. I try to keep the phone not even on the table when I'm talking to friends. Even then, I just broke my concentration. And it's so hard to get my mind to race back from whatever was distracting me and race back to be in the conversation and pretend like I know what's going on. So I don't know if about you guys, but I was like, that's the new speed. The new speed is trying to run, do something, get distracted, and run back to the same thought, or keep going with the conversation. You got to basically run on the treadmill, jump off the treadmill, run at a different speed, and then run back on this other treadmill as if nothing happened. And I was just like, man, we're running from thought to thought. We barely have any concentration level anymore. Like people are fucking all over the place, and I'm fucking done being the guy that's all over the place. I'm the guy that's brushing his teeth with his left hand this every morning. This morning I kind of wanted to get it done nice and right because I'm right-handed, but to rewire my brain and sit there and go, I'm not alone in my struggles. There's other people that have lost babies, Mark. There are other people that have had heartache and loss, and there are other people. Maybe they don't try as hard as me in life and wanting to change my life to the other side of being a business owner, being an independent person, being a free thinker is not an easy path. I know it might be enviable, but like before I had designs, I got 8 shirts, 10 shirts in the corner over there that I made for people that haven't picked up their delivery, even though if I see them at the bar and I shake them, they might have blocked me. And I confronted the girl and then I totally forgot that she had blocked me, but I'm like, what the fuck's your deal, dude? All you have to do is wear a shirt. We talked about it. Oh yeah, well you're traveling all over the world. So it's like people are so fickle. They don't even know that they're switching up in their own minds, let alone trying to switch places. Like there's no switching places. It's only the amount of effort that you put in is the effort that you're gonna get out. And like they used to say back in the South, or you know, we say in Western cultures, we say rung what you brung. You gotta rung what you brung. You can't show up in a different outfit and expecting it to be a suit. If you didn't wear the suit, then you don't have the suit. And if you didn't get the suit made, then you're not wearing it. And if you're not wearing the suit, then you're not getting laid. And if you're not jockeying position in life or wearing a certain type of stuff, like the one girl was saying, I don't know, she was saying graphic tees. I don't know how she said something about it being a turn off or something. And it was like, you know, for some people, maybe. For some people, that's the thing, you know, they're going to be the person that's like, oh, I like my men in suits. And then I'm like, how practical is that when I'm in Thailand and I don't want to be wearing suits? I just want to be comfortable. And how much do you treat comfort as a level in your life? Or as my buddy said, you only get 2 choices in life. You can fucking get the shit done or you can enjoy the shit. And his whole thing was just enjoy the shit. He got no time for enjoying life because he's just too busy putting on his boots, getting the shit done and kind of beating himself up. And I was like, no wonder why your nerves are raggedy. No wonder why you're so impatient and you leave me hanging. No wonder why you're waking up with sweats at night. It's like, bro, I don't wake up at all. I've been fucking slept 3 different fucking times this morning, only because my friend was up late. He comes home about 3 o'clock in the morning. That woke me up, but I slept earlier. So my buddy gave me some dank. I fell asleep, TV on, which I never do. Then he came back by. We smoked again. I had to wake up, like, huh, what? And I'm still smoking, like half asleep. He's like, all right, I'm taking off again. So I went right back to sleep. So I got to sleep twice. Then my buddy came home from work. That woke me up. And then all of a sudden, I thought I was going to breakfast with my other homie. And we didn't. He didn't. He took off without me. And then I locked myself out about 7:30, 45, 8 o'clock this morning while my buddy's still sleeping, who just got to sleep about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't even want to make a peep. I don't want to bug anybody. It's like on one hand, you shit in one hand and you wipe with the other. And that's what it seems like to be in life, is that you pick your poisons, man. You're going to have to eat, but you're also going to have to wipe your own ass. And it's almost like the Arabic handshake. They don't chef with their left because they know that they wash their hands with their right. What if I'm right-handed? It's almost like every hand you've ever shook has masturbated. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know if that person even washed their hands. I heard something like 80% of people wash their hands only if someone else is observing them. Like, the public shame of not washing your hands while you're in a public restaurant encourages you to not look like an asshole, and you wash your hands. I pee in the pool. I leave a lot of times not washing my hands. I've even had people go, what, you're not going to wash your hands? And I'm like, fuck no, I'm just fucking going, bro. This is life. And that's what I've been talking about. It's like, this is our lives. We have to make smart decisions. We have to watch our fucking patterns. If you can just sit a little bit, call it meditation, call it relaxation, give yourself a moment to adjust yourself. And I usually try to do it right after I've done reading a chapter in this book, or after I've done some breathing exercises, or after I've done some push-ups. I try to get one task done that I wouldn't normally do out of my normal routine and order, to be able to mix up my outcome. So instead of getting to go, let's say, to smoke this joint right now. Here, I'll show you for examples. I'm going to get my push-up on. I'm going to do push-ups with you so you can see that I get my push-ups done every morning before I go smoke this joint, because what I really want to do is just run and go smoke the joint. What I don't normally do is stop myself and do the work before I get the joy. And this is part of switching places, but tell me if you haven't ever stopped yourself before you had a coffee. Have you ever had yourself stop the flow of what was going on in your mind and what was going on in your head, or just mixing it up, bro? And that's what we're doing around here. We're mixing it up. We're making sure that I can switch places in my mind instead of being where it was. Hold on, I gotta blow my nose. I want it to be where I want it to be. And the only way to place it there is by doing these things. I'm still sick, but the only way it's going to happen is if I make it happen. If I keep the pattern, then it stays in the same fucking spot. And I don't want to be in the same spot. So what do? I cop some breathings. Yeah. I caught some push-ups. I catch myself in my patterns. I'm going to talk to my friends, especially now that they're walking and being. I want to be a better human being. I want to be the type of person that can take a bullet to the mouth, like losing a child, and be able to smile back at life and say, maybe that person wasn't for me. I looked at it this morning. The guy was psych hacks, and he said, it can't be both ways. You are going to have to either enter someone else's frame, or they're going to have to enter your frame. And that's what we expect people to do. We expect life to enter our frame, right? And be the way we want it to be on some fucking Disney. Is that fucking boogers in my... See? Oh, why isn't my beard wet? Life isn't perfect. It's not going to do the things we want it to do when we want it to do it. But we can tell our minds to do the things that we want them to do when we want them to do it, as long as we're willing to take action. It's the only way to avoid regret. And even though the weather's horrible and weird outside, and even though sometimes we tend to hide, there's always an opportunity for us to mix up the rhythm. And I'm high on that. I'm high on doing something different every day. I can't go to the same bars. And I tell my friends that all the time. I'm like, I'm not going to live my life at same old story, doing the same old things, getting the same old results. I got new designs. I got new ideas. I got new passions. I got things that I still want to do with this life. And the only way to encourage me to get them done is by doing them. And that's the biggest thing. It's just like, what could I be doing instead of watching YouTube videos? What could I be doing instead of recording? I could be doing my push-ups. That's what we're going to do. I got to get a couple push-ups in here with you, but then we're going to go for the morning motivation. Yep. Get these endorphins. Get a pump going. Yeah, buddy. Nothing but a peanut, just to get myself up from what's been in my mind as a bit of mental slavery, a bit of angst. And then I realize soon enough, just like that, they know snap, I'll be somewhere else. I'll be in Thailand with warm weather, where I won't have to put on 3-4 layers of clothes, and I won't have to freeze, and I won't have to watch the ice build, and I won't have to have a cold, and I won't have to have any excuses because I can do push-ups anywhere. Then I'm in a new place with less friends, no money, but an opportunity to be free and be me. And that's what I always got out of Thailand. I got that experience that I can make it anywhere. I can make it anywhere. As long as I show up, I can show out. And maybe sometimes I show too much. Like my friend says, she's like, maybe I feel like I'm too much sometimes. Yeah, well, those aren't your people, okay? If you're too much for them, then they're not your people. And then they can trade places with somebody else. They can pair up and be friends with somebody else. They can choose their own patterns and be their own people. And over here, Saints Addiction, we're flipping it. We're flipping it to be a positive and work in favor for ourselves than against ourselves. And that's the most important part. Yeah. Yes. Got him. Got him. I don't know how many push-ups that was. I don't count them like that. I just do them. And that's what life's all about, is just doing it, Nike. Mita Vito. That's what it's all about. Fuck that pussy. Let's go get some morning motivation, shall we? Let me get out here. I'm not supposed to smoke on the balcony. I'm such a rebel. I do it all the time. I see these boys right on time. Hopefully they don't rat me out. I don't think they work for the place, but I'm gonna smoke off to the side just to keep my head right here by them. Watching the construction, my buddy said, "Oh, I see you're in the neighborhood." And I'm like, "Yes, I am. Drop by drop. These boys are getting it in." And so, that's your morning motivation. If you get anything out of this, please like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you move a load. Come on. Make sure you move the load of your life around. Spread it around. Stop making it hard on yourself. Put in the work. Do the push-ups. Keep going outside. Go for walks. Go for talks. Build this thing you called your life. So that way one day you won't have to switch. You'll just get to enjoy. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get back and enjoy this thing called life. I want everybody else to enjoy their life as well. Peace and love. And as always, Chigathon. That means goodbye, but not forever and finish. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, subscribe. Ciao.